Okay, so I kind of want to go ahead and get back into our coverage over the X-Men. So now we pick up with X-Force issue number 42. Now, with this issue alone, it's really more of the idea of Warpath being able to get some therapy, but it also kind of learned a little bit more about who had possibly killed off his entire tribe. Let me explain. You see, for Warpath, we had learned a long time ago that he was the younger brother to a character known as Thunderbird. Now, when it comes to Thunderbird, he was part of the second generation of the X-Men. Unfortunately, he died shortly after joining the X-Men. But after his death, you did have Warpath join the Hellions. Now, the Hellions were a small group of mutants who were kind of like students for Emma Frost. The thing was, though, after a while, you had Warpath leave the Hellions and go back home to his tribe. Except when he got back home, his entire tribe was wiped out, killed off. Now, he believed it had to be the Hellfire Club. And the reason why, because he found a mask that was left behind. But on top of that, he believed it was Emma Frost who had killed off his entire tribe. It is all because the whole idea that he left the Hellions. So for a long time, this man had hated Emma Frost, but he also hated Charles Xavier. And here is the reason why he hated Charles Xavier so much for. You see, when it came to Warpath, he blamed Charles Xavier for the death of his brother Thunderbird. But here's the thing. You see, for Thunderbird, he was a hot-headed character. He did not believe in the idea of listening to Charles Xavier. Really more because Charles is a white man, he was a Native American man. But either way, when it came to Thunderbird, he died because he was being a hothead character, not trying to follow orders. And so because of his death, for a long time, for Warpath, he blamed Charles Xavier. But did he realize, like, hey, you know what? I was incorrect. Like, Charles is an innocent man. That was because my brother who got himself killed. Now, when it comes to Emma Frost, it's really more of the idea that he believed it was her who had killed off his tribe. Because again, his entire tribe was wiped out. He found a Hellfire Club mask, and he believed it was her killing off his entire tribe because he had left the Hellions behind. But it's her saying, like, you are completely wrong. Like, you came here to my new school to talk to me, to tell me that you believed that I killed off your people. But in reality, I'm also innocent as well. And so that is when we learn that right now you have really just Warpath and also Siryn visiting the new school that Emma Frost and also Banshee is running. This is kind of like another prelude that's leading into the whole idea of the new XT coming very soon, Generation X. But either way, when it comes to Warpath, it's him and Siryn at Emma Frost's new school, and he's kind of confused on why in the world she would go out of her way to create another school right after she had lost the Hellions. Because remember, when it came to Emma Frost, while she was in a coma for a short period of time, the Hellions were all killed off except for two, Warpath and also Empath. Now we also see that Siryn is talking to her father, Banshee. And I kind of like this a lot because, okay, for Banshee and Siryn, they're still trying their best to build up their relationship, their father and daughter relationship. Because for a long time for Banshee, he had no idea that he had a daughter thanks to Black Tom. Now, luckily, he does know now, but he's still trying his best to build that bond with her. But while trying to do that, it's him still being a father. Like, hey, listen, you made me grow, but like, I need to know, are you seeing that man right there? Now, here's the thing. Warpath was in Siryn's corner because over time, she was becoming an alcoholic because she had gone through a lot in her life. And so she began to drink at a very young age. Now, luckily for her, she had Warpath in her corner, kind of helping her out, get out of that dark path. But the thing is, he really does like her and he wants to be with her. But for Siryn, it's more of she does not know if she has the same kind of feelings like he does for her. And so she tells her father, like, I don't know. For me, we're just friends. But Warpath does not know that yet. But you do have Siryn being able to kind of change the subject over to her father because she's all like, hey, how does your lady, Morbid Taggart, feel that you're now here at his new school with Emma Frost? But let's not forget that Morbid Taggart was making out with Charles Xavier right before the Fane Covenant storyline. Now, I kind of want to go ahead and go back over to Emma Frost and Thunderbird's therapy session. Here's the reason why, because why you had the two characters be able to go through their therapy session is her trying her best to figure out, like, what is he trying to achieve in his life? But what is he trying to achieve alongside with the different members of X-Force? But also, like, where is all that anger coming from? Now, while she's in his mind, she's able to go back in time to the point where he had found all the dead bodies of each member of his tribe. He had to go out of his way to get the bodies ready for their burial. But while doing that, you did have the authorities appear. Now, when they appeared, they began to ask all these different types of questions. But while asking those questions for Warpath, he was getting angrier and angrier. And the thing was, all the hatred he had inside of him, it was being pointed towards the Hellfire Club because, again, he found the Hellfire Club mask and he believed it was Emma Frost who had killed off his tribe. But now he knows that's not technically true. And so now she knows, like, okay, cool, we're getting through your anger issues, but now wondering, what are you trying to achieve in life? Like, what are you trying to achieve with the different members of X-Force? But while you had a therapy session going on, we jump over to Sam Guthrie and Paige Guthrie. Now, Sam, better known as Cannonball, is the big brother to Paige, who is going to be Husk in a new team called Generation X. Now, when it comes to Sam, he hates the idea that his younger sister is being taught by Emma Frost. Because let's not forget, Cannonball was part of the New Mutants. He was being taught by Charles Xavier. Now, at the same time, he was also being taught by Magneto. And so when you have Sam saying, like, hey, listen, I find it weird that you're being taught by Emma Frost, somebody who was an enemy of the X-Men countless times. Like, it makes no sense at all that you would go to her for your type of training, even though this new school is under Charles Xavier's name. But at the same time, it's her saying, like, how dare you judge me in what I'll try to do? Because let's not forget, you were being trained by Charles Xavier, but at the same time, you're also being trained by Magneto. And look how that worked out. And so you have the two characters go back and forth, but it's really more Paige saying, like, Sam, you are acting, you are pretending that you did nothing wrong, that you are this perfect big brother, and you had the perfect game plan for your entire life, and not admitting your mistakes. And so while you have the two characters have their good old sibling argument, you do have Jubilee and the rest of the new team come in. Now, they realize, hey, we should back off. These two are going through something. But after they leave, the siblings are able to work out their problems. But now we're able to get back over to that therapy session. Now, it's really more of Emma Frost asking the same question again, like, what are you trying to achieve with X-Force? But at the same time as her asking, why are you with X-Force? Now, at first, it's kind of like, okay, cool. He's there for Siryn, but also there's other people on the team he truly does care for. But also it's him saying, like, I feel like I belong with them. I feel like I'm wanted by them. And that's why I am there. Now, Emma Frost, she takes that and begins to dig deeper because she's saying, listen, you have gone through a lot. Like, you have lost your brother. You have lost your tribe. You have lost your old team, the Hellions. Like, you have gone through a lot. And all those different things you went through, plus what I put you through, made you in the man you are today. But my question is right now is, again, what are you trying to achieve with X-Force? Because you have the ability to live your own life as an adult. Like, you have the ability to live a life of greatness. You have all these different opportunities out there for you, but you're with X-Force. So again, why are you with them? But now we have to jump over to this research facility. Now, here's the catch, guys, because this research facility is in Germany. And guys, I am going to mispronounce the name so badly, so please forgive me. But it is called Verslagen, and I really hope I pronounced that correctly. But either way, this facility is owned by a woman. And apparently right now, it's going through a break-in. And so you have the guards trying their best to stop the person who have broken into their facility. Now, they are able to shoot down the person. The problem is that it is the husband of the owner of the facility. Now, she's not upset at all. And the reason why, because she knew that sooner or later he would come here for their son. But at the same time, he's also working for somebody else, the Yoshida clan, a very important clan over in Wolverine comics. But here's the catch though, guys. This storyline right here will not be touched on for many years down the road in X-Men comics in an annual. So we might actually cover that storyline down the road. We'll see. Now it's time for us to just go ahead and wrap up today's storyline with the therapy session once again. Now, when we jump over to Warpath and also Emma Frost in their therapy session, it's really more of Warpath just going off because he feels like when it comes to Emma Frost, she's doing this whole idea of Generation X as a way to forget about her past sins. And of course, her past sins are allowing the Hellions to die because if they were better, there is a possibility they would still be alive. Now, for Emma Frost, the reason why she wanted to sit down and talk to Warpath is because she realized that he's trying to convince himself that he's only one step away from everything he wants in life. The whole idea of love and an easy life because he's in this war. He believes that possibly the war ends, mutants and humans are able to live together in harmony. But again, it's him trying to convince himself that he's only one step away from achieving that goal. But it's Emma Frost saying, like, you're trying to convince yourself that you are one step away from that goal. But in reality, you know, and I know that you are just one step away from misery and death. And so that is why she kind of wants him to move away from X-Force so that he is then able to have what he really wants, love. But unfortunately, he won't leave X-Force. And so sooner or later, he'll have misery and death. And this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see you all next time. Later.